Taurus, serious warning: someone prayed for you last night for a profound reason. Dear Taurus, a powerful shift has just anchored itself in the invisible realm, and the name Taurus was spoken in a prayer so deep it resonated with the very earth you stand upon. This is not a coincidence. Someone deeply tied to your lineage or to a memory you once cherished sent a pure-hearted prayer into the universe. That prayer made the cosmos stand still, opening a sacred gateway. The universe listened. But what you don't know is that prayer wasn't just for you. It awakened a destiny you had long since laid dormant. And you, Taurus, are the unwavering center of the transformation that is taking root. There are nights when everything outside seems still, yet within an invisible world, a powerful current is moving. Last night was one of those nights. I couldn't rest. A strong, grounding energy compelled me to light candles, lay out the cards, and sit very still, not out of idle curiosity, but because I knew something was calling your name. Someone tied to your roots or to a memory whispered your name in a prayer poured straight from the heart. You know, when a prayer is spoken from pure love, the universe holds its breath to listen, and I believe you felt that not through logic, but through that quiet tremor beneath your stable ground, the sudden urge to root yourself, or the deep, unexplained knowing during stillness. That's not anxiety, but a sign that something sacred is settling in, something you've long waited for, but no longer dared to name. I've always believed every soul has a moment when it is awakened from the familiar dream. For you, that moment is deeply anchoring. You're about to hear a message or receive a call from someone that won't just shift your routine, but will open a completely new, fertile path. And the beautiful thing is, you don't need to fear it, because it is the steady reward life has owed you for a very long time. I know this is not just comforting words. This is confirmation. The universe never forgets what you've given. The times you cultivated peace without recognition, the times you built others up while your own foundations felt shaky, the times you stood firm through tear-filled eyes. You've spent so many years providing and building for others, and now it's time for life to begin solidifying for you. I'm not saying it will be easy, but there's something you need to know. Someone around you is not as genuinely supportive as you've believed, and I say this not to make you angry or resentful. I say this to set you free. There is someone you see as a friend, a safe space, but they are carrying an energy that is no longer pure, not because they are evil, but because your light, your unwavering stability, unsettles something inside them. Because you keep moving forward, building, while they are stuck. Your presence is a mirror, and in that mirror, they see all the limits they haven't yet overcome. The question is, are you willing to forgive without compromising your own peace? Or will you choose to love them, but from a distance, a place where you can still be yourself without having to shrink your abundance? I used to believe that maintaining a relationship was a job for two people, but the older I get, the more I realize being honest with yourself is more important than staying silent to keep a connection. You have the right to choose peace for your soul. You have the right not to endure false comfort anymore. And you have the right to be loved with the true, steady light you deserve. Your heart may be tightening as you hear these words, but let it speak. Don't silence it anymore, because it is your heart that knows the way best. And if by now you feel a sense of resonance, let me know by writing down one thing you're ready to release to feel more grounded. When you write, you are unlocking your own enduring energy, Taurus. This is just the beginning. There's still so much I want to whisper to you, but take a deep breath, and let the next part come in divine timing, because the deepest things never rush. The universe is waiting for you to nod. And when you're ready, the miracle won't need to knock. It will walk right in and build its home with you. If what you're feeling now is the rise of quiet courage, the forgiveness for yourself and for others, then write in the comments, "I, Taurus, choose to return to my foundation and release what no longer grounds my soul." And if you truly feel that these words touched a deep part of you, leave a like as a sign of awakening. Share this with someone you love, and hit subscribe so you never miss the messages the universe is sending, just for your soul. Have you ever felt like someone truly understood your desire for a peaceful, abundant life? If you have, I hope to hear that from you, Taurus. There are people who come into your life with a gentle smile, a warm embrace, but inside them is a kind of energy that subtly undermines your sense of security, and you don't even have a name for it. The universe is whispering clearly to you right now. It's time to face the truth and bravely cut a cord that's been strangling your soul's growth. If someone close to you has recently made you feel unsettled in ways you can't explain, give yourself permission to take a step back and observe. Sometimes discomfort doesn't come from nowhere. It may be your intuition speaking. Trust that signal. They may not mean harm, but the energy between you has shifted. Paying attention to how you truly feel inside, that is an act of self-love, and that is the most important thing right now. And if you've ever been affected by that kind of energy, write in the comments, "I choose to free myself from unstable ties and activate sacred protection for my soul's peace." When you say that out loud, you are setting up a spiritual shield for yourself. And there's one thing I must tell you, something no one dares to say, but your soul has known for a long time. It has to do with love, and it may leave you feeling deeply seen. When it comes to love, your heart seems to be holding a quiet, unwavering strength. There's someone you can't stop thinking about. They're distant, they're gone, as if they've forgotten your steadfastness. But the truth is, they still think about you during the quietest nights. In the silence, their mind returns to your comforting presence. They wonder, do they still have a place in your heart? They may scroll past a post of yours, glance at an old photo, and suddenly feel a wave of nameless longing, because between you is an invisible bond, one that even time can't sever. But then another face appears, someone from the past. That person once left wounds on your journey, shaking your foundations, and they still haven't truly let you go. They've been searching for answers, turning to those who can see beyond, because they feel like you've truly moved on. Close the door of your once wide-open heart, and they're right. You've changed. You're no longer the version of yourself that was vulnerable and easily unsettled. You are evolving, and that can be felt clearly even by those who are no longer allowed into your life. But the story doesn't end there. There's another shadow, a third person, a feminine energy, someone who stood behind the separation, who manipulated, who lied, who even used subtle, negative methods to hinder your path of growth and abundance. You may not have known, but these things are real. And I'm not saying this to create fear, but to remind you, no one can touch your light unless you allow it. No force, no matter how subtly dark, can defeat a soul that knows its worth. You are being protected by sacred forces, things the naked eye cannot see, but are always present, grounding you. This person wanted to stop the flow of abundance within you, tried to delay your progress, but she failed. And everything that was sent out from a place of envy is now returning to her. Because the law of the universe misses nothing. Everything that stems from ego will become a burden. And you the one with a sincere, grounded heart, will always be uplifted. Now I want you to listen carefully to this. What's coming may be a turning point. Open your heart to receive it. Just like the earth never denies the spring. Have you ever felt like someone was deliberately pushing you away from the path of stable growth you were born to walk? Tell me. And if you feel this message is meant for you, don't hesitate to share this video, because when you spread the light, you too will be illuminated. Dear Taurus, there has been a door in your financial and career realm that's been blocked for a long time, not because you weren't worthy, but because others' jealous and fearful energies have tried to suppress your natural growth and ability to build. You've tried endlessly, you've given your all, you've lived with kindness, and yet it felt like your results never matched your steady efforts. That's not a coincidence. But I want you to know, those invisible chains are beginning to dissolve. The truth is, light cannot be hidden forever, and your light, gentle, steadfast, but powerful, is starting to radiate from within. When you decide to believe in your own worth, the universe will respond. This very week, if you act with faith and determination, you may touch an opportunity you never imagined. A door that once seemed sealed may suddenly open to you as a message from the heavens. The time has come. This is your moment. I sense a profound shift. It could be a change in your living environment, your work, or simply a renewal in how you think and see yourself. Whatever it is, this is not just a journey. It's a movement of the soul. Because what's coming for you requires a pure, stable space to bloom. Maybe you need to leave an energy or an environment. Maybe you need to let go of certain people or habits that no longer make you feel grounded in yourself. I believe the soul always knows when it's time to transform. It begins to feel stifled in places that once felt like home. It starts to feel lonely in relationships that once felt safe. That's not a sign of failure, it's a signal of maturity. Do you feel like you need a new breath of fresh air, a sense of living truthfully, breathing deeply, being yourself, without the weight of judgment or expectations for your stability? If so, that's your soul speaking, reclaiming its freedom. Pause for a moment, close your eyes, and ask yourself, what am I ready to release, to welcome something better? Who makes me feel like I must shrink myself? What relationship is draining my steady energy instead of nourishing me? There's no wrong answer, but being honest with yourself, even if it hurts, is always the first step to freedom. Maybe you've told the world you've forgotten someone, that you've moved on, but if there's still an echo in your heart, a lingering memory, an unanswered question, then you haven't truly closed that door. And you know what? That's okay. You're not weak. You're just learning to let go gently, not by denial, but by understanding that some wounds need time to heal, not to be repeated, but to teach you how to cherish your own peace more. Today's reading also shows me a feminine energy influencing your romantic connection. This isn't someone openly hostile. It's someone very close, someone who subtly influences the one you love. This person plants fears, doubts, clouding the light and stability between you both, and you felt it. The sudden coldness without reason, the distance without explanation. But I have good news. The truth always anchors itself, and that person, the one who was once such a vital part of your world, is beginning to awaken. They're starting to sense the difference between the peace and security they felt with you and the turmoil they now carry. And they'll come searching for you, maybe through an awkward message, a small signal, but behind it is a heart still longing to return to your steadfastness, However, you are the chosen one. Not everyone who comes back deserves to stay. Remember that. The time you spent on yourself during the distance was not wasted. It was sacred, a sanctuary for healing, for growing stronger, for learning to love yourself and build your own foundation before loving anyone else. You've gone through many losses, but never lost faith in love and its ability to create lasting peace. That's extraordinary. And I believe this: only hearts that have once been deeply unsettled have the capacity to love deeply again. This time, the right way. If these words feel like they were written for you, write in the comments, "I, Taurus, no longer hold on to what exhausts my soul's peace. I choose grounded freedom." And if you believe you are moving closer to the stronger, more rooted version of yourself, then like, share this video, and hit subscribe, not for me, but to declare to the universe, you are ready. And there's still so much I want to tell you, but I will wait until your soul whispers, "I'm ready to hear more." Beloved Taurus, some reunions don't happen to repeat the past, but to let you stand in the present, strong, clear, and full of love for yourself to choose again. But from a completely new place, no longer needing approval to feel worthy, no longer needing someone to say you matter to believe in your value, because now you've realized the strongest, deepest recognition is the one that comes from within. And that, dear Taurus, is your greatest victory. Not someone's return, not the restoration of a relationship, but your return to yourself, to your own inherent worth. I also sense a new energy approaching you, someone who carries a gentle, respectful, and sincere presence, not coming to fill a void, but to walk alongside you, to build with you. Someone who does not control, does not doubt, does not ask you to change, but loves you exactly as you are. And the miracle is, you are ready for that kind of love. Finally, after so many painful roads, you are opening a chapter of love that no longer wounds you, a love that doesn't make you shrink or pull away, but a love that expands your inner space, a love that uplifts and honors your steady nature. But you need to take one more step. Let go. Let go of beautiful memories that no longer nourish your true peace. Let go of relationships that were once close but have turned cold and stagnant. Let go of spaces that are now too small for a soul ready to grow and flourish. I know letting go is never easy, but every time you choose to let go, you are choosing yourself. You were not born to live a half-life. You did not come here just to survive. You came to bloom, to shine, to leave a mark of grounded kindness and authenticity. And if you're still reading this, I believe a new journey is opening right beneath your feet, not an empty promise, but a soul-level affirmation. You've walked far enough in the dark. Now it's time to step into the light and build your sanctuary. And if at any moment your heart feels a deep settling, if a wave of peace rises in your chest, that is the whisper from the other side. You no longer have to be afraid. Something beautiful and lasting is coming. And this time, it will stay. Are you ready to receive it? If your heart is nodding, then write in the comments, "I, Taurus, choose to open my heart instead of shrinking myself to fit anyone." And if a part of you was just touched, don't leave just yet, because what comes next will help you understand why the universe chose this very moment to send you this message. If you truly feel strong enough, healed enough, grateful enough to step into a new chapter, then like, share, and hit subscribe to send a signal to the universe one more time that says, "I am ready to live in alignment with my true worth." Taurus, if you're still here, listening to these words with an open heart, then I know you are ready to receive the next gift the universe has for you. It's not for everyone. It's for the brave souls, those who've walked through the night and never lost faith in the light of stability. And you, kind soul, are one of them. I've seen the moments you anchored yourself in silence when no one knew how hard you were trying, when you swallowed your tears, held back your sobs, and still smiled so others wouldn't worry, when you became a support for others even when you had nowhere to lean on yourself. I've seen it all. The universe has seen it all. Every time you whispered, "I can't take this anymore," there was an invisible hand resting on your heart, saying, "Hold on just a little longer. The light is coming." And now, you are not just approaching the light, you are the light. Don't forget, this is only the first chapter. There is still so much ahead waiting for you, and if you're ready to keep walking, I'll still be here, whispering with you through every turning page of this journey. Beloved Taurus, there's a miracle unfolding within you, a quiet yet powerful rebirth. Every action you've done from the heart, every kind word you've spoken, even when no one noticed, is now starting to bloom. This isn't a reward from someone else, but the inevitable fruit of the seeds you've sown with your faith, your kindness, and your resilience. Not just external success or wealth, but a profound return to yourself. The peace you once thought was lost, the inner voice that is finally being heard, the light seeping through the old cracks. And that, dear Taurus, is a reward beyond compare. But I also see an energy around you, not one of jealousy or hate, but a form of control masked as love. Someone very close, perhaps even family, who doesn't know how to love freely. So they unconsciously place expectations, limitations, and bindings on you that suffocate your spirit. They love you, but in a way that asks you to forget who you are, to compromise your own comfort. They may have influenced major decisions in your life. You may have chosen silence, compliance, sacrifice, just to avoid disappointing them. But each time you did, you abandoned yourself. You've shelved dreams, postponed true desires, but now is the time to ask yourself, how many times have I abandoned my own deep-seated needs to please others? Close your eyes, Taurus. Listen to your inner voice. Don't fear the quiet anger. Don't fear the tears, because that is your soul awakening. And nothing is more sacred than that moment when you begin facing the truth. You begin to be reborn. The card shows you are standing before a great threshold, one that, if crossed, will free you from old beliefs, old fears, and relationships that no longer serve your growth and abundance. But you must be the one to choose. Freedom doesn't come when someone opens the door, but when you have the courage to walk out. And I see something you may not yet be ready to believe, that an opportunity you thought was lost has only been waiting for the right time to return. A delayed offer, a postponed project, a door you thought was closed is now gently opening, not to pull you back into the past, but to let you choose again, this time with awakened eyes and a heart that no longer needs to prove anything. Emotionally, I see a soul approaching you, not to save you or complete you, but to walk beside you, to build with you. Someone who doesn't make you feel like you have to try to be loved, but helps you realize that true love is the space where you can simply be yourself, deeply rooted and at peace. You may have passed by this person before, or they are on their way, but when you meet, you'll know. Because that connection doesn't come through loud words, it comes through profound peace and a sense of feeling truly at home. Are you ready to receive that kind of love, Taurus? Or are you still holding on to what's familiar but no longer fits your expanding spirit? Are you ready to say no to the relationships that make you shrink so you can open your heart to what helps you expand and truly flourish? If your heart is aching, if you feel that something in this message is touching your soul, write in the comments, "I, Taurus, choose a love where I no longer have to hide my true value to be loved." And if a part of you is whispering, "This is my time to begin again, but with awareness, with gratitude, and a new courage," then like, share, and subscribe to send that affirmation to the universe. Because sometimes a small action can be the signal that opens the door to a great miracle. And if you think this is all, wait for what's coming next. Because the deepest part of this message is something only the most courageous souls are ready to receive. Beloved Taurus, I know sometimes we need to hear something gentle, not to be saved, but to be seen. And right now, I want you to know you've been through so much. The times you kept going while no one knew you were in pain, the moments you smiled while you were breaking inside, not everyone saw, but I did. And the miracle is, the universe did too. When you sow seeds of love, even in loneliness, when you give without expecting anything in return, when you hold on to faith even when the light hasn't yet arrived, all of that is blooming now, not as a reward, but as a natural unfolding, because pure, grounded love has never been silent. I feel a deep peace slowly returning to your heart, not loud, not rushed, like the quiet, fertile ground after the rain. Not everything is clear, but just enough for you to know the storm has passed. Peace is not the absence of challenge, but the choice to still love life after everything you've lost. However, there's one thing you need to know. Not everyone who loves you knows how to love you the right way. Some people care for you, but quietly suffocate your freedom with their expectations for your stability. Some want what's best for you, but don't realize that what's best isn't always what they think. If you've ever felt restrained by a love like that, then now is the time to ask yourself, am I still living my own life, or the life someone else chose for me, or for my peace? Taurus, you are no longer a lost seed in the wind. You are the ancient oak, finding your deep roots. You've grown, matured, and above all, you've learned how to listen to yourself. And the beautiful thing is, the more you listen, the more you realize that peace doesn't come from pleasing everyone. It comes from no longer betraying yourself, your own grounded needs. An old door has just creaked open, an opportunity you thought was lost, a relationship once left incomplete, a dream you once carefully planted and folded away, tucked in the drawer of memory. But this time, everything is returning not to hurt you, but to let you choose again, from the new strength you found through healing. At the same time, I see a new energy approaching you, not to fill a void, but to walk beside you, to build a future. This person doesn't need you to prove your worth, because they can feel the beauty radiating from your steady heart. They've walked through their own darkness, and now your light is what makes them stop. Maybe you've already passed each other. Maybe you're about to meet them somewhere unexpected, but you will know not with your mind, but through a strange stillness in your heart, a feeling you've never had with anyone else, a feeling that cannot be named, but makes you feel like you're finally coming home, finally truly grounded. And if you're still waiting for everything to be perfect before you begin, then remember, life doesn't wait until you're perfectly ready. It waits until you're brave. Every opportunity needs a yes. Every miracle starts with one small, solid action. And you don't need to know the whole path, just have enough faith to take the first step. I want to hear from you. Which part of this touched you the most? Have you ever felt like you're slowly but surely coming back to yourself, to your true, unshakable essence? You don't have to disappoint anyone to be true to yourself. You just have to be honest enough to look in the mirror and smile, saying, "Finally, I've come back to my true, peaceful self." Taurus, you've come so far. But the miracle is, the most beautiful things are still ahead. And if your heart is beating differently, if something is urging you not to leave this video, then believe what comes next is not a coincidence. It's the answer you've been waiting for, beloved Taurus. I know there are apologies we wait for that never come, and it's painful to face the truth that they may never. But from that very place, you begin to understand something important. Forgiveness is not a gift someone else gives you. Forgiveness is the gift you give yourself. It is the moment you stop waiting for someone to mend the crack and begin to rebuild your heart's stable sanctuary on your own. I feel a very special energy in your bloodline. A woman, maybe a grandmother, a mother, or a female ancestor you've never met, is present in a powerful way. She is not just a memory. She is the ancient earth wisdom that holds you steady. Every time you think you can't stand up, every gasp when you look to the sky, every time you feel something stirring that you can't explain, is her saying to you, "You are not alone. You never were." And I see it very clearly. This month, a new portal of abundance is opening. The answers you've long searched for are finally coming. The hidden truths will be revealed. And the brightest light is the one from within you, something you once set aside. A project, a dream, an idea is preparing to return, not to test you, but to offer back the opportunity you've deserved for a long time. This time, you're no longer walking like someone afraid. You have experience, you have intuition, you have a flame in your heart that's been tempered through pain, making your resolve unshakable. Even if someone from the past returns with familiar promises, you won't be as easily swayed as before. You will clearly know what truly uplifts you and what weighs you down. And this time, you will choose yourself. I also see a relationship that once deeply wounded you. Maybe it was someone close. Someone you once trusted completely. They didn't believe you could move forward without them, could build your own peace, but you did quietly, powerfully, and with immense strength. They now see that you've changed, and that change unsettles them. They may come back, they may try to reconnect, but now you have the right to ask, does this connection still fit the grounded person I've become? And in another corner of your heart, I see a new energy approaching, pure, gentle, not controlling, not hiding. This person isn't here to fill a void. They're here to create a new chapter with you, not from lack, but from the fullness of your soul, from your inherent abundance. You will not recognize this person through loud words, but through the deep peace they bring, through the gaze that lets you be yourself, without effort, without needing to prove anything. And you will understand why the ones before didn't stay, because you had to become this version of yourself, so deeply rooted, in order to receive that love without it being destroyed. But for love and miracles to enter, you must release the old. Let go of fear, let go of shame, let go of the need to understand everything before taking action. Only when you drop the old key can the new door open. Right now, if you feel something stirring in your heart, if your throat tightens for no reason, it is not random. It is your soul nodding to the truth. And I invite you, with one simple act, to write in the comments, "I, Taurus, I'm ready to cross the threshold of my life with unwavering confidence and compassion for myself." Let me know that you are here, that you are feeling, and that you are ready. Because you are not just reading a message, you are touching a completely new chapter of yourself. And I, From the depth of my soul, I'm here to celebrate you. Because what awaits you behind the next door is something that could change your life's direction forever. Can you feel that vibration, dear Taurus? There are moments in life when the soul feels too tired to endure the same repeated things. The times you stayed silent just to avoid conflict, the times you shrank yourself to be accepted or to maintain a false peace. But then one day, that very soul begins to speak. You begin to speak. And when that happens, the universe rearranges everything. When you dare to speak your truth, your foundation becomes unshakable. Events that once seemed random are actually destiny falling into place, building your path. And I want to share this with you, something that touches my heart deeply. Not everyone is given this gift. Only those who have been hurt and still choose to love, who still choose to trust, are truly ready to receive this blessing. Taurus, the universe never forgets souls like yours. On the contrary, you're being protected, watched over with special care, and very soon, something unexpected will appear, not planned, not logical. It may be a proposal that changes your entire life path, an emotional reunion, or simply a message, but it will awaken everything that has long been asleep. And when that happens, you will realize what is meant for you will never exhaust you. It won't pressure you. It won't throw you into anxiety. It arrives naturally, gently, like a steady stream finally finding its rich, fertile course. Taurus, you are on a journey back to yourself, to your deepest roots. The coming phase is no longer about survival. It is about growth and flourishing. Relationships will no longer be burdens, but places where you feel you belong and are deeply valued. And remember this: when blessings begin to arrive, your mind might whisper, "Do I deserve this?" Don't let doubt blur the light that is approaching. What's coming is yours, not because you are perfect, but because you've been true. You've loved fully. You've overcome loss with a heart free of bitterness. If you have ever trembled at the thought of saying no to the past, or hesitated to open your heart to something new, something truly stable, then hold on to these words. You've already overcome your greatest trials. You've let go of more than you ever thought you could. And that's why now you deserve to receive. The image I see clearly through waves of energy is you walking barefoot on a fertile path. Sunlight gently falling on your shoulders. No crowds, no noise, just you and the deep peace you have found within. Ahead lies a new life with different rules, different people, and dreams once thought unreachable, now beginning to take root and blossom. And if I could whisper in your ear, I would say, don't be afraid of lasting happiness. Don't feel guilty for choosing yourself, for choosing your own steady path. Don't delay what you already know you deserve, because that is not selfishness. It is healing. It is not rebellion. It is maturity. You were not born to please the world. You were born to paint your own vivid, abundant masterpiece. Before we end this conversation, I invite you to close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, and say, even in silence, I release what no longer belongs to me. I receive what life has to offer. I open my heart to the love, abundance, and peace I deserve. I trust this journey. I am ready. And I, from the silence of prayers, where incense weaves with candlelight and the breath of ancestors, I bless you with everything I have. I honor your journey. I am grateful for your trust, and I will continue to walk with you like an ancient grandmother tree who quietly waits at the doorway each night, waiting for you to return in your own light, your own grounded strength. Remember, Beloved Taurus, the most beautiful thing has not yet arrived, but it is very, very close. And if you have felt that in your heart, tell me which moment in these words touched you the most. Thank you for listening with your whole heart. May you always have enough love to let go, enough peace to receive the good that is coming.